Anong grupo involved itong mga nahuli? Isang grupo lang ba sila? Magkakaiba?
Hindi, scattered kasi again, as Secretary Aguda said, it started online and then they used the black peace motive to assault the palace. Buti na lang na hindi sila pumunta ah, sa People Power Monument at doon ng gulo. Kasi kung doon nangyari, mas marami masasaktan. Dito naman, kung Mendiola lang at mako-contain talaga ng PNP at PSG ang lahat yan.
Pero what are the chances, or tukoy ba natin kung sino yung mga posibleng nag-utos, especially dun sa minors, na mag-start ng violence?
Wala pa po. DICT is working on it. They are ascertaining kung sino ang may-ari ng website, kung saan nanggagaling, and we'll know in the end. Habang nagda-tactical interrogation pa ang mga bata, malalaman natin kung ano talaga nangyari.
Ano po yung plano nating isang pang kaso, especially dun sa mga adults?
We will, andyan yung arson, andyan yung grave physical injuries, and we can go as far as sedition. Yung statement lang nila na we intend to burn the palace, gusto namin sunugin palasyo, is a seditious act in itself.
Salamat po.
Tuesday, New DCBB.
Good morning to Secretary or Remulla or PNP Chief. Nabanggit niyo, Secretary, na zero casualty tayo from the protest yesterday.
Yes.
But today, sir, nag-confirm po si DOH and Assistant Secretary Albert Domingo. Mayroon daw po isang lalaki na matay because of the rally. Sinaksak daw po. So, paano natin yun?
Ang information namin kahapon, doon sa site mismo, at during the altercation, there was wala kaming nakitang ganun. Kung may nasaksak man yan, hindi na galing sa PNP yan kasi walang kutsilyo ang PNP. So, I would suppose it was one of the anarchists who stabbed him if it were the result of the rally. But during the rally itself, all the ambulances were there. We monitored where they went at wala kaming nakita na nasaksak.
Right. Follow up lang, sir. May nabanggit po si General Nartates kanina na parang tinitignan din po ninyo na as terrorist yung mga nagsagawa nung mararahas na aksyon kahapon, including yung burning of the van or yung sasakyan po dyan sa Ayala Bridge, and then yung pananakit sa mga police and other civilians. Can we call them terrorists, sir? O paano ba? Sasampahan din ba sila ng kasong terrorism?
Okay. It will be a result of the continuing investigation as yung ebidensya po ay tinitignan natin. So that's why maybe it can lead to terrorism or violation of the Anti-Terrorism Act. With regards to the reported death, wala pa pong nakarating sa ating himpilan ng pulisya, lalong-lalo na dito sa Manila Police District about death. If this was reported to have a stab wounds, then our police will investigate that for sure. What's so important is as of now, we don't have report of death through gunshot wounds. Kasi yun ang importante, yung gunshot wounds. And the reported casualty or the reported mga nasaktan yesterday, up to last night, were contusions and lacerations. Lalo na sa police, there are not less than 70. Meron pa yung may malaking laceration dito sa kamay dito. So about 4 inches siguro yun. Yung laceration na yun, accordingly, kasi buhay yung police in-struck siya ng tubo na mahaba na medyo sharpen dun sa dulo. So that caused these lacerated wounds and a lot of contusions from among the not less than 70 police.
Thank you, sir.
Sunod, Alvin Baltasar, Radyo Pilipinas.
Good morning po, Chief PNP, or DILG Secretary can answer also. Secretary General Nartates, even before na nangyari ito, yung kahapon, meron na ba tayong intel report na natatanggap na may ganitong mangyayari And nakuha ba sa intel report na may plano talaga lusubin ng Malacanang?
Yes, we had in the intel report, and that's why an additional phalanx of security was introduced into the roads leading to Malacanang. We knew that they would try, they would attempt. We knew that we had the suspicion that they would use violence. Pero ang directive talaga ng ating Pangulo is use maximum tolerance. We will not allow anarchy to prevail over the government. So, ginawa namin ang lahat at nagtagumpay naman yung plano namin.
Secretary, follow up lang dun sa sinabi niyo kanina dun sa mga naaresto. Can you give us a profile ng mga naaresto? Taga saan ba sila? At ito ba ay hinakot?
We'll know more after they are processed kasi isa-isa kinakausap yan. But most are from Manila. May malapit lang na lugar. Naglalakad lang sila eh. Nakikita namin naglalakad lang. Papasok-pasok. So most are from Manila.
Secretary, isa na lang.
Ah.
Sa isang interview, sinabi ni Manila Mayor Isko Moreno na yung gulong nangyari kahapon, ang nasa likod, isang dating politiko at saka isang abogado. Without naming names, yan din ba lumalabas sa intel report?
Hindi pa namin pinag-aaralan. Iba yung nakikita namin sa specs. Pero iba rin ang sources ni Mayor Isko eh. So we will verify his allegations.
Salamat po, Secretary.
Sunod, Clisel Pardilla, PTV4.
Good morning po, Secretary. Secretary, you've mentioned earlier na posibleng may nag-utos. Does it mean that some of them were paid?
We are studying the matter. Sa ngayon, wala kami nakitang pera na malaki naman na hawak nila na habang ando doon. Wala kami nakitang distribution. But nothing is ruled out. Na according to the chatter na nakikita namin, ay pinag-aaralan pa namin. Pero mayroon kaming isang narinig na rally doon sa Bonifacio Monument, sa Liwasang Bonifacio, na sinabi nung na may hawak na mic, sandali na lang, pupunta na tayo ng Mendiola, dalahin nyo na ng mga lighter nyo. So, that was a confirmation na they had intent to burn the palace.
Kay Secretary Aguda, sir, ano-ano pong mga major websites ng government yung nahack? At can you confirm na wala naman pong personal information ng ating mga kababayan yung nakuha? Thank you.
So of the 19 na nabanggit ko na deface, karamihan yun LGUs. 4 yung NGAs or National Government Agencies. Yung mga na-compromise naman sa kanila, like training modules, complaint platform, etc. So, and all of them naayos kaagad. Kasi prior to this weekend, we already have a list of government agencies na nasa target list nila. So yung 4 na yon, inconsequential yung nangyari sa kanila. The other attacks na ginagawa nila is DDoS. They're trying to overwhelm some of the websites. And so far naman, madali namang naayos. To date, wala pa kaming verified report of exfiltration. So wala pang personal information na nawala. And siguro idadagdag ko na rin doon sa sinabi ni Chief kanina, on the terrorism side. Yung pong, kung mapatunayan po na terrorist yung crime, na terrorism yung crime na nagawa, yung pong nasa mga online, yung mga nag-organisa po sa online, gumamit ng digital platform to result into violence, kasama po sila. Hindi ko mawala sila physically doon, hindi sila damay. So damay sila kasi nagsimula po yan, nag-organisa sila online eh. Salamat.
Sunod po, Christian Yasores, DZMM.
Good morning po. Pwede po si DILG or sa PNP Chief, sir. Are we expecting po ba na may karagdagang mga police sa mga kalsada natin in the coming days or weeks following the incident kahapon? Kasi po baka may mga, ang pangamba po ng ilan, baka po maulit-ulit yung nangyari kahapon, may mga mambulaga po ulit na sumugod dito po sa vicinity or compound po ng Malacanang.
Okay. The presence of police officers on the street is a continuing one. Lalong-lalo na we deploy police officers according to pangangailangan. So, for example, here in Metro Manila, we heightened our alertness and we increase visibility, especially on threats like, for example, in a vital installation. Number one is Malacanang, and then so we will increase the number of public safety forces here, especially the police.
Sam Mendinilla, Business Mirror.
For Secretary Remulla po.
Yes.
Will the national government or LGUs help businesses defray the cost of looting and destruction of property in Mindiola?
That is an LGU matter to determine. They will give us a report kung ano ang nangyari doon. But from our assessment, there were 2 motorcycles that were burned. There's one Stardex van that was burned also. And the Sogo motel was raided and their cash vault was taken with them. So we still have to determine the exact amount, but the looters who went inside the Sogo motel had black mask on.
Follow-up.
Okay.
Bali, hindi po siya magiging under sa DILG.
Not yet.
City of Manila.
City of Manila ang magre-report sa amin yan. Tapos we will see what we can do after.
Thank you po.
Sunod, Ann Soberano, Bombo Radio.
Sec, tanong ko lang, it's either si PNP or ikaw, Sec. May natanggap po bang intelligence report ang DILG or ang PNP na may mga terror group ang gustong manabotahe sa rally po kahapon?
Yes, that's why all contingencies were considered. Our biggest fear that did not happen was someone would incite violence during the People Power Monument rally, because the intent of the people there were peaceful. The intent of the people there were to air their grievances. The president encouraged them to go and heeded their message. He is listening to them. Alam niya naman, nakikinig naman siya eh. At alam niya na papunta ron. Our biggest fear was that there would be instigation there. Buti na lang sa Mindiola nangyari at mas nakukontain namin yung situation.
Sir, itong terror group, it's national, international or local terrorist group po?
Local.
Local terrorist group. Okay. Sir, isa pa, kamusta po yung status? Ano po yung status ng alert level dito po sa Malacanang?
Malacanang always maintains one threat level. It is never downgraded. As long as the president, being the seat of power of the country, the threat level is just one. It is always high.
Okay. Last na lang, sir. Itong local terrorist group po ba, sir, is Abu Sayyaf or mga Maote terror group? Possible po ba silang may kinalaman dito? At ano po ba yung nila, yung strength po nila ngayon na para makapaghikayat po ng ganitong kaguluhan?
The threat of the terrorists was more of a bomb that would go off in Luneta or in the Luneta or in the People Power Monument. But with the vigilance of our PNP to look at the situation, because we had 400 policemen on the ground dressed as plainclothes to see what was going on and to assess, and the vigilance paid off and none of it transpired. Safe to say, we are still investigating according to our intelligence reports, and we will come out with a report pretty soon.
Thank you, Sec.
Sunod, Chloe Hofana, Business World.
Good morning po kay PNP Chief po, sir. A quick question lang po. Does the PNP think po na these violent protests will spread pa po, or this is just going to be a one-time event?
Okay. Katulad ng sinabi, if there were intelligence report about terrorism or act of terrorism, here in Malacanang area specifically, sagutin ko uli kanina, this is the seat of power, whether there is no threat or there is threat, these premises, this vital installation is given the highest security. Okay? So, nandito po ang PNP, nandyan po ang Armed Forces of the Philippines, lalong-lalo na yung Presidential Security Command. And so, about the threat, continuously ina-assess po natin yan. We have different threat group. We have the communist terrorist group. We have the local terrorist group. We have, lalo na kung may spillover from Mindanao going here, especially we have elections in Mindanao. We have the Islamic terrorist group. We have the BIFF, the DI Hassan, DI Maute, and other threats like, for example, our situation in the West Philippine Sea. So pinag-aaralan po natin lahat yan such that there are several contingencies that we have done. Before the conduct of these protest rallies, we have already have made our surveys. We have engaged the community around Metro Manila kung saan sila kumukuha ng mga rallyista, ay ini-engage po natin yan. And we have conducted several police operations to enable to deny yung maging presence ng firearms, at the same time explosive materials. If you're going to look at the number one is yung LRT natin, marami pong nakadeploy na mga police doon. Especially, we have coordinated with the DOTR such that merong mga X-ray machines doon at nagagamit. And other police operations that we have done.
Thank you, sir. Kay Secretary Aguda po, sir. Sir, pasensya na po, lilihis po ako sa topic ng rally. Sir, about konektadong Pinoy po sana, sir.
Yes.
Sir, kailan po natin i-expect ang IRR, and ano po yung mga sinasabi ng mga telco companies natin na gusto nila makita sa IRR?
Dun sa IRR, ang schedule natin for Konektadong Pinoy is first week of October. We've had several consultation meetings with them already. And yung mga telcos naman, ang gusto lang nila is a fair participation in the crafting of the IRR. And isa dun sa napag-usapan dun sa IRR is how do we increase our ability in the telco space to reduce harmful effects of the internet. Isa na po itong nakita natin over the weekend. Nagsimula po ito dun sa Black Mask. Nag-organize sila online and unfortunately translated into violence in the street, di ba? Kung hindi po naagapang ng DILG at ng PNP, hindi po sana magiging kasing peaceful yung nangyari this weekend. So, ganun po. Doon sa Konektadong Pinoy, ulitin ko po, kasama dyan yung how do we create a better governance around the internet so that we can minimize the ill effects. Kasama na po dyan yung prescribing violence over the internet. So, first week of October, tuloy-tuloy naman po, yung mga telco naman po yung nakikikooperate.
Thank you, sir. Follow-up na lang po. May mga foreign telco companies na po ba nag-express na gusto nila pumasok sa Philippine market?
Meron. Siguro may 3 malaki. Hindi ko na pangangalanan dahil ayaw nating pangunahan sila. Pero marami ring local. Ang kagandahan po niyan, anywhere from an LGU who wants to serve their locality better to private companies that are in the Philippines already. Marami po. All of them are coming together to participate in Konektadong Pinoy para naman maabot yung gusto ng presidente natin na connectivity everywhere in the Philippines and affordable connectivity to all Filipinos.
May range po kaya tayo, sir, kung ilan?
Ang mag-a-apply, yung gusto, siguro more than a dozen na yung nag-express. And since wala pa yung IRR, we expect that to increase further pag lumabas na yung IRR.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sunod, Net 25, Eden Santos.
Good afternoon po kay PNP Chief po at kay DILG Secretary. Sir, PNP Chief, opo. Sir, kahapon po yung naging marahas na rally ng mga kabataan sa bahagi ng Ayala Bridge at sa Manjola. Nagulat po ba yung ating mga pulis dito dun sa kanilang biglang pagsugod? And note din po sa Manjola.
Of course, nagulat tayo. But we are expecting that to happen. Especially, we have made our contingencies kasi may mga contingencies yan. How if, kung may nangyari na ganito, how if, kung may nangyari ito. That's why, meron tayong PNP personnel deployed at that area. In fact, mayroong mga barricades, etc. At may mga contingencies na gagawin. So, when that thing happened, meron tayong aresto.
So marami po kasi mga nasugatang pulis ano po. Kay DILG Secretary, sa laki po nung Intel Fund ng Office of the President, hindi po ba natin agad natukoy kung sino yung mga grupo sa likod nitong marahas na rally sa Ayala Bridge at sa Mendiola po? Ito yung mga galing sa Luneta, kasama po sila sa mga nagrally doon.
Actually, alam na namin kung anong grupong yan. Pero hindi pa namin pwedeng sabihin kasi yung actual participants, kinoconnect pa namin sa kanila. So, you give us a few days at we will confirm after all the interviews and the interrogations are done.
So may political group po ba dito sa mga nasa likod ng mga magulong marahas na rally na ito po kahapon?
We will confirm after all the interviews are done.
Sa tingin niyo po ba yung mga nagrally, yung mga kabataan, may kasama pang mga menor de edad, are capable to burn the Malacanang using the lighter na sabi niyo po kanina, nabanggit niyo, nagdala sila ng lighter?
Well, the capacity to burn the palace is very difficult. But the intent was there. So, we have to separate the two of them. Iba yung capacity and intent. So, mahirap gawin yun yung gusto nilang mangyari at hindi kami papayag. Pero gusto talaga nila by showing that they had Molotov cocktails ready.
So, kaya pong sunugin ang Malacanang gamit po yung Molotov, yung lighter?
No, kung napasok nila, siyempre. Yung lighter naman para sa Molotov yun Okay. Kung lighter lang, siyempre hindi makasunog yun, di ba? Pero, ayun yung gusto nila. Di ba? Pero, kung nakapasok sila at di pinigilan, siyempre, kaya na gawin yun. Pero hindi kami papayag doon na mangyari doon.
Last na lang pong question. Ano po yung pwedeng maging liability kung meron pa po ng mga organizer ng rally sa Luneta since karamihan po doon sa mga kabataan na nakaitim na mga suit, may mga nakamaskara at nakabonet, ay galing po doon sa kanilang mga rally sa Luneta?
We will label them as terrorists. And as far as sedition, pwede namin i-charge sa kanila if we prove it already.
Ito mo mga Makabayan Black, ganun po ba yung mga militanteng grupo?
You wait for it till we confirm. And the DOJ has standards of reasonable certainty for conviction before we file the case. So, i-develop yung case para sa kanila.
Last na lang po, doon po sa Liwasang Bonifacio, mga nagrally din po doon. May pumunta rin po ba dito sa Mendiola at Ayala Bridge?
Around 300 of them pumunta dito.
Thank you po.
Sunod, Katrina Domingo, ABS-CBN.
Hi, sir. Good morning. For Secretary Aguda, sir, can we name the 14 websites that were defaced?
No, 19
Sorry,
yun.
I stand corrected.
19. Sige. Yung 19 doon, 4 doon is national government agencies. Yung the rest, mga LGUs. Sige, yung 14, yung PRISM, yung isang educational platform ni ARTA, but that's been fixed. I think one of them is BOC, pero sandali lang yun hindi nyo halos naramdaman The other one is there was one sa DICT pero mabilis din na naayos, hindi nyo rin halos naramdaman. The fourth one is DepDev. It's informational lang siya. Tapos naglagay lang sila ng logo nila. Tapos again, kaya nga hindi nyo halos naramdaman Yun lang yun. And there were in the list of agencies na we've been monitoring already.
Sir, what is the common denominator among the agencies that were included in their initial target list that you got in advance?
So, ang common denominator is the actor called Anonymous PH. So, doon namin na track down. And the chatter in the cybersecurity community is pointing to them. Although I've reached out to them, sabi nila hindi daw sila. So sabi ko, disavow nyo. Well, there's a person of interest right now that we're pursuing. We're coordinating with the law enforcement. And yun na lang, in the next coming days or weeks siguro, we'll give you an update. So yun yung common. Yun yung common dun sa mga yun.
Sir, but as for the intent, what is the common among these websites? Bakit sila po yung napili na 19 among the many government agency websites?
Kasi yung all the other government websites started reinforcing their cybersecurity platform. Hindi mo kasi masabi kung may na-implant na sa loob yan before I think what they tried to do is kung sino lang yung mapasok nila, yun na yung pinasok nila. There's no common intent. There's also breaches na nangyari over the weekend. No, not breaches, attempts to breach. 1.4 million yung nakita namin na attempts. Ang dami niyan. And kung makikita nyo, 4 lang yung nakalusot. So, kudos to the people of the CICC from the ICT, tsaka yung cyber bureau natin, at tsaka yung NCERT, and together with the law enforcer. So, they started working as early as last week pa to secure all of this.
Sir, may na-trace na rin po ba kayo kung saan nanggaling yung disinformation campaign surrounding the rallies yesterday, especially dun sa Recto and Mendiola?
Yeah. So, again, Anonymous PH. Pero yan kasi isang community ng hacktivist yan eh. So, it's a collective. So, kami naman, ayaw naming pangunahan kung sino yung individual na yon kasi we need to verify. But it's not one person, it's a group, it's a collective. And matagal ng ano naman yan eh, gumagalaw sa Pilipinas yung mga yan. Tapos, may mga from the outside pero hindi naman nakapasok. Nag-attempt lang po pero hindi naman nakapasok sa Pilipinas. That's why no successful breach can be traced to a nation actor or an overseas entity.
Sir, last from my end, can you give us a brief profile, even in broad strokes, nung person of interest nyo na tinitingnan?
Well, he's in country. Yun lang siguro. And I think I will defer giving additional information para hindi naman masayang yung investigation process.
Sir, clarify lang namin, he, lalaki po. He's
He,
in
she.
country.
He, she.
Gentle reminder, 1 question, 1 follow-up so the others can also ask questions. Next po, Eileen Taliping Abante.
Okay.
Kay Secretary Remulla po. Sir, ano ang liability nung nagsalita sa SSRI na magdala ng lighter doon sa nangyari kahapon?
Liwasang Bonifacio.
Sa Liwasang Bonifacio.
It can go from arson to sedition. So we are studying the matter.
Another question. Nawagan si Chavit Singson nitong weekend sa mga kabataan na lumabas at sumama sa rally para makita, maramdaman ng gobyerno yung disgusto. May impluensya ba yung panawagan niyang yun sa nangyari kahapon?
Siguro siya lang makakasabi nun, hindi kami. And we're happy that he asked the youth to come out kasi ayun nga ang purpose nun to air their grievances. Safe to say that the president heard what was going on, then he heard the grievances of the people, and he is acting swiftly to connect everything. A institutional change that he wants to do is in the process of being done.
Di ba yung matatawag na inciting to sedition?
Hindi naman.
Panawagan na yun.
Nang imbita lang naman siya na pumunta sa rally. Hindi niya man sinabi na ipabagsak ang gobyerno o patayin may patayin na tao. Hindi naman siguro.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sunod, Michelle Giang, All TV.
Hello po. Good afternoon, Secretary Remulla. Question lang po. Records show that there are around 70 policemen who were wounded.
95, I think.
Sorry, 95
Yes.
policemen were wounded. Given this fact, Secretary, can we still say that the September 21 protest was generally peaceful?
Yes, because none of the legitimate protesters were hurt in the sites all around the country. It is only a few who tried to incite violence near the palace that were arrested. So, the protest was not limited to EDSA Shrine and Luneta and the People Power Monument. All around the country, there were separate venues, and all of them were very peaceful.
One more question, Secretary. Ang nangyari po kahapon ay protesta laban sa korupsyon dahil sa flood control projects. Pero naging marahas po yung mga nagprotesta sa Ayala, sa Menjola, sa Recto. Sa tingin niyo po, Secretary, bakit ang pagsunog sa palasyo yung naging motibo ng mga naging marahas kahapon?
Well, obviously, they had different intentions. They did not intend to peacefully air their grievances as is allowed by law. But what their intentions were, we will determine in the next few days. I mean, how they assembled, who assembled them, or how the process went, we will determine in the next few days.
Sir, sorry, pahabol na lang. Yung 300 people na sinabi nyo kanina, na-establish ba natin na iisang grupo sila galing?
Hindi naman. Hindi naman. So we're still determining until now.
So hindi po isang grupo.
We will determine in the next few days.
Alright, thank you po.
We will take last two questions, one from Ivan Mayorina and then Clisel Pardilla.
For Secretary Aguda, sir. Nabanggit nyo ho itong Anonymous PH at yung... Sila rin ba yung nasa likod ng Black Mass Movement? Tama ho ba?
Yun yung intel namin. It's pointing towards
At hindi naman ho sila new player. What can you tell us about their associations? Meron ho ba sila pinupush na advocacy, ideology, perhaps sinusuportahang political personality?
Yung mga hacktivists naman, usually sinasakyan nila yung cause, 'di ba? Usually they express their protest in the cyberspace. So dati may makikita kayo mga website defacement, pag-hack ng mga government website, na-trace sa kanila. Ito yung first incident na nakita namin na nag-organize sila sa web, tapos na-translate into violence. Kaya nga yung word na terrorism is aptly associated with them. Para lang mabigyan kayo ng konteksto, last week pa po, through working with the telco and the social media platform, sila CICC po, trinatrack na yung Black Mask na movement. Naglalagay po sila nung how to create a Molotov dun sa web. Hindi nyo lang masyado nakikita dahil I'd like to acknowledge po yung mga social media platform, they proactively take it down. Siguro, yung nakikita nyo na lang ngayon sa web is about 3% of all the toxic and violent posting nila. Marami po yon. Tapos sila rin po yung, hindi ko na sila yung nagko-compromise ng mga privacy ng mga tao, pinopost sa web, nag-i-incite talaga ng violence. Yun po bawal. Bawal po rin sa community standards ng mga social media platform. And yun na nga, our intel is pointing to that organization. It's a collective. So it's not one person, not one organization, but we have, as I've said, some persons of interest already. Yun po, before this weekend, nagbi-build up na yung And let me add, as of 2 o'clock, when I gave my update to the cabinet, peaceful pa po tayo. 2 o'clock, wala pong karahasaan. Tapos siguro mga bandang mga 3:30, no? Bandang 3:30 nagkaroon na ng gulo. And during that time, doon po kami may na-monitor ng mga chatter. May chatter na po sa internet. And yung mga yan, minsan nag-organize using Facebook Live. So, magfe-Facebook sila, sasabihin nila, dito kayo mag-login sa link na to, tapos doon sila nag-organize. Pag may nakita po kaming ganon, sina-shutdown namin kaagad. Pero, minsan, mabilisan eh. So, bigla na lang, parang flash mob ang nangyayari. Alam niyo na yung flash mob, di ba? Parang nag-flash mob sila. So, kaya po kami doon sa internet, yung kampanya namin to clean the internet of harmful products, harmful services, harmful tendencies, pinapainting po natin. Dahil nakita nyo na po yung resulta over the weekend. Mapayapa po yung gathering, mapayapa po yung rally, tapos biglang nahaluan ng ganyan. Sayang naman.
Last question mula kay Clisel Pardilla, PTV.
Secretary Remulla, may DILG Pag-asa Expo Manila City Jail po kayo. Can you tell us about it briefly lang po?
It's about giving hope to the PDLs there. It's a novel program, training them for life after their deprivation of liberty, and it's being showcased all around the country now.
Is it clear?
Thank you very much.